Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. This morning I called my mother and I said to her, let's have breakfast or lunch together today. It's been a while since I've um, had lunch or breakfast with her. So I called her up, went to Mandeville, and as usual, she loves to go and shop. So I went along with her. We shopped and she bought all her things, and then we went to this restaurant to have breakfast. And as we're there talking about the Bible and persons in the Bible who would have you know made made great strides for God in their relationship with God, they would have done great things, great exploits. And so as I thought about that, and as she was talking, I heard the Holy Spirit say to me, "Mistint." And immediately, because I worked in the paint industry, I worked at a major paint company over 12 years ago. That's the last place I worked before I became a pastor, before I went into ministry. And so when I heard Mistint, I believe I knew exactly what the Holy Spirit was saying to me. But in order for you to get a better understanding of what Mistint is, Mistint, 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 like misunderstanding, misinformed, yes, Mistint. So I'm going to do a little demonstration, and I trust that it will be very helpful to you. And after that, you will understand what this term means. All right, so here is a pan of paint. It's water paint, and this color is Artenic. So let's say you walk into the paint store and you wanted Morant blue. So you told the representative at the store, say you want Morant blue. And so Morant blue is not a color that, let's say it's not a color that is available on the shelf. They would have to mix it, right? So they would say to you that would have to be mixed. And you say, okay, go ahead and mix it. And they will tell you the price and write up a bill. So they go to mix it. They have something that is called a base. Now the base is white. It's just white paint. It's just there. It's called the base. It's white. And then when they put it on the machine, first of all, they will go into a book that tells you how to get a certain color, how to get a certain color or a certain shade. So they would follow a formula, and then they would add the prescription from the formula to the base to get the color, to get Morant blue. All right, so they would add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of another color, and then you would see you get Morant blue. But let's say a mistake was made. They add too much of one color or too little of one color, and instead of Morant blue you got Regatta. Now that's called a mistint. And what the person will have to do is, sometimes it's irreconcilable. You cannot change it. All right, you cannot get Morant blue again. So what you'd have to do is just put that paint on the shelf and just leave it there and start fresh. So get another base and mix another color. But the thing is, when they make these mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. They do not throw away the mistint. When they miss the color, when they mix a formula, but they do not get the color that they wanted, it's called a mistint. It's called a mistint. And so they would shut the bucket and put them in a corner by themselves. All right? So that is what a mistint is. When you try to mix a paint, but you messed up the formula and you did not get the color that you wanted. So it's called a mistint, and you put it in a corner. But then somebody walks into the store a week later, or 2 weeks later, or a month later, or a year later, and they say, I want Regatta. I want Regatta, that color, I want Regatta. Immediately, somebody in the store will know that they were trying to mix Morant blue some weeks before, and it became a mistint, but it turned out that they have Regatta. So they'll go into the back, get that Regatta. They will tell the person, you understand, this is already mixed, it's Regatta. And the person will look at it and say, okay, it's fine. It's always good, nothing is wrong with it. It's paint, it's always good, nothing is wrong with it. And they will say, okay, fine. And they would give you that. All right? Now, in life, mistakes are made. Sometimes you try things and it doesn't work out. Sometimes you try something in business and it doesn't work, out. You try a relationship and it doesn't work out. You make mistakes. And there are persons who will put you on the shelf and say, you know what, you missed the mark. You sinned. Religious people will take you and put you on a shelf and say, okay, you are messed up. You are messed up. We thought you would have become this, but you made mistakes and now you are that. And you are labeled as Mistint. But guess what God is saying? God is saying, you know, somebody out there needs that Mistint. Somebody out there needs what you have. Despite the fact that you made mistakes, despite the fact that you failed, despite the fact that you did some things wrong, made some bad decisions, that doesn't change the fact that you are still important to God. It doesn't change the fact that somebody out there needs regatta. Somebody out there needs what you have. And so God says, this is what God said to me, even though you're a Mistint, somebody needs you. And somebody is going to come your way that needs you, that needs what you have, that needs your color. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life just because you made a mistake. Don't give up on life just because you made some bad decisions. Don't give up on life because people label you and call you all sorts of names. God has one label on you, and that is you are important. You are significant. You are my child. And he loves you. You understand? No matter what people may say things. When Jesus sat and ate with sinners, they called him a gluttonous man. When he went to the wedding and he hung around sinners, they say he's a drunkard. They say he had a demon, the Son of God. They say he had a demon and he's this and he is that. You understand? But it's Jesus, that was Jesus. And if they said that about him, being perfect, being the Son of God, being spotless, what are they going to say about us, flawed human beings who are susceptible to sin? You understand? People will say things. And I'm not saying that you disregard everything that people say, because God will send people in your life that you must listen to. But make sure these are positive people. Make sure these are people who will build you up, not who will push you in a corner and say you're useless. All right? God made you special. And not because you made a mistake. And I'm not condoning mistakes. And I'm not saying, okay, go out there and sin and God can still use you. No, sin hurts the heart of God. You understand? The wages of sin is death. But in spite of the fact that you failed, in spite of the fact that you sinned, God still loves you. And God still wants to use you. You may be considered a Mistint, but you as a Mistint, you are important. You understand? And God can use you. Somebody will come your way that needs what you have. My brothers and my sisters, do not give up on life. I may be considered a Mistint, but this Mistint is going places. This Mistint is being blessed by God. This Mistint wrote 4 books in one year. 4 amazing books that people are out there reading and are being blessed. So, if you're a Mistint, embrace it. Don't deny the fact that you made mistakes, but look beyond and say, God still loves me. I did this, but God. Make it right with him and move on. God bless you.